Hi Skyline, it's Miss Shannon. I hope you're all doing well. For today's group, we're going to be talking about cognitive distortions, also known as automatic negative thoughts, also known as ants. These are all ways of thinking that are not healthy for us. They usually end up making us feel anxious or depressed or having low self-esteem. They're just so common though that we kind of just assume they're true, right? A lot of people do these things, and I bet you'll hear a few that you go, oh yeah, I definitely do that. So it's important for us to learn about them so that we can recognize when we're doing them in our own lives. And hopefully over time, when we get better at this and we practice this, our whole perspectives on ourselves and our lives will shift a little bit into a more positive, peaceful mindset. All right, here we go. So rhinocats especially, you guys should know some of these because I do talk about them in class. A few common cognitive distortions are things like black and white thinking, filtering, mind reading or fortune telling, personalizing, using a lot of should statements, like disqualifying the positive. It's very close to like filtering, labeling. Those are just some common ones. I'll talk about more of those in detail. But you probably heard at least a few of those in your life, which is good. So hopefully you're off to a strong start here. All right, so black and white thinking, that means you're thinking in a way that's either this or that, right? You're either a smart kid or a dumb kid. You're either a good kid or a bad kid, right? You're either irresponsible or you're not. The reality is that nobody is either. We're all in the middle. We're all a little gray, right? So we need to stop being so hard on ourselves and thinking in these either or statements, because usually when we use them, we're not using them in a positive way, being like, I'm a great person, right? We're usually saying, I suck, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, nobody likes me, these kind of things. So catch yourself doing that, right? If you're saying things like all the time, or I never, or I always, like this kind of stuff, that is the traps of the black and white thinking, because we assume it's like all the time or none of the time, or I'm always this and I'm never that. Okay? Alright, so there's also like filtering or like ignoring parts of your life. Remember, filtering is all about you're filtering out either the good things or the bad things that are happening, and you're ignoring the other half, right? So maybe you usually do really well on your spelling, and this week you didn't do really well. Maybe you got like half wrong. You're like, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Suddenly you're going, wow, I never do really well, right? I haven't done really well in a long time, or whatever it is, like I suck at spelling. But you're totally forgetting all the other times that you actually did really well, right? So yeah, maybe this one time you didn't do great, right? Maybe it was a rough week. Maybe these words were particularly hard. I don't know. But then you just chose to ignore all the times you did really well on spelling, and then you made yourself feel bad, right? Try to avoid doing that. Try to think of all the different scenarios and situations you've been in and get a more clear, real perspective on it, okay? Let's see, another one. Another one that I definitely do, and I know a lot of you guys do, is like fortune telling or mind reading. I tend to like think too much about something, and I think about it so much that I've decided this is what's going to happen, and it's usually negative, right? So let's say like I know that if I go to school tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, I guess, but I know when I show up to school next time, my teachers are going to be mad at me because like I wasn't doing work, and I just know I'm going to be in big trouble. Like, you don't know that. You're just kind of freaking yourself out and thinking of the future and overthinking it all, and fortune telling, right? But the reality is, like, we're not going to be mad, right? there's a benefit to working on your schoolwork, but like you're not gonna be in big trouble if not, right? So that's probably something that might have gone through your head. That's like predicting the future, even though it's impossible to do that, especially without looking at the evidence that no staff has ever said that to you guys, right? All right, let's see. Okay, should statements. These are very common. Everybody uses these, but let's try to reduce them a little bit. Should statements is when you say should a lot, right? Oh, I should go work out more. Oh, I should be more productive. It just ends up like guilting you, right? If you want to motivate yourself in a way that almost a should statement could in a positive way, rephrase it. Say something like, it would be great for me and my health to work out more. Or, I'd be really proud of myself if I got to work earlier than I did yesterday, right? Rephrase it in a way that makes it sound like a real positive thing, but it's still a choice for you. Should just makes you feel like, oh, you should have already been doing this, you're already failing, and now you feel bad about yourself, right? And that just hurts everybody, right? Nobody's really productive and in a good space when they feel guilted, all right? We'll go 2 more. Catastrophizing. That's taking something that's maybe, I mean, it could be a little bit of a problem, but it's making it a huge problem, a giant problem, right? We'll go back to like a thing. Oh no, I got a 60% on my spelling test. I'm never gonna graduate high school. I'm never going to college. Like, I'm a total failure. Like, that's pretty dramatic, right? But we really get caught in those negative thinking cycles when we catastrophize. So we take something, that's just kind of a medium problem that can have a medium reaction, and we make it a giant problem, and it ends up making us feel anxious and scared and have low self-esteem and maybe angry or other feelings too. All right, and last one is labeling. This is when we like call something names. That's ourselves, that's others, that's an event. We give it a label, we call it a name. So my classmate Arthur is stupid. That's taking his whole person and labeling him as a stupid person. And that's really not fair, right? Maybe Arthur made a mistake and did something stupid in the moment or whatever, but he's not stupid. The action he took might be, okay? When we label, it takes, once again, one moment, and we turn it into a much larger situation that ends up not hurting or not helping people. It ends up just hurting people, okay? So that's a good little overview, guys, of cognitive distortions, aka automatic negative thoughts, aka ants. So just to summarize, guys, watch out for these. These are not healthy ways of thinking, but people do it all the time. And you just need to catch yourself doing them, and it'll help change maybe a more negative or depressed or anxious perspective and help move it towards a more positive, hopeful, happy, peaceful perspective, all right? All right, guys, I'll be posting another video sometime soon. All right, bye. So guys, I say goodbye too quickly. I forgot to add a few tips and tricks to help you avoid cognitive distortions in your daily life, aka automatic negative thoughts, aka ants. But a few tips and tricks are that, one, look for evidence, right? If you're starting to feel bad about yourself or bad about something or scared or nervous or angry, just like check yourself. Be like, is there a good reason I should be feeling this way? Like, why am I feeling such low self-esteem right now? Right? Like, I forgot to bring back my homework and my sign back and forth one day. Like, that's really not a lot of evidence to make me feel like totally bad about myself as a student. Why am I being so mean to myself? Right? Or, you know, kind of assuming maybe somebody's gonna be mad at me or whatever. Like, is there actually evidence, or am I just making this up in my head? Am I just like making up random scenario situations that I think are gonna happen and then assuming the worst? Or did maybe that person actually hint that they were frustrated? Did they appear, you know, annoyed or upset with me? Did they say something, or did they not, right? So make sure we're not just like, you know, doing the fortune telling and all those kind of things I talked about, and actually looking for evidence to make sure our feelings truly make sense, right? Also, I think this is one of my favorite tricks. I think it works really well. It's asking yourself, Is this what I would think too if this happened to a friend of mine? Like, how would I react if this happened to a friend of mine? So, let's see. I guess the same situation, yeah. Like, let's say your friend, your classmate, forgot to bring his homework and his sign back and forth, and he's going, ugh, I'm the worst, I'm so stupid, I'm gonna be in big trouble, I'm not gonna be able to go to recess, like all these things. How would you react to him? Would you be like, yeah man, you're really screwed, that was really stupid of you, you're dumb? I don't think so. I think you would say, hey man, it's not a big deal, it's one day, you'll get back to earning full points tomorrow when you bring your homework and back and forth in. This is just one time. Like, you're fine. You're fine. This is okay. We all care for you. It's okay. Right? Those are totally different reactions. Right? If it happened to you, you're being really hard on yourself. If it's happening to this guy, you sound more understanding. You're getting a more well-rounded perspective on it instead of being so harsh with your own self. Okay? So this is a way to catch yourself being pretty much meaner to yourself than you need to be, right? So I use this often, and I encourage you guys to as well. Just flip that perspective. How would I react? Would I think he's dumb in this situation? Probably not, right? Would I think he's the worst dude in this situation? No. So why should I be so hard on myself as well, all right? All right, guys. I'll make a new video sometime soon. Bye.